Remembering the terrorist attacks 1 year later, I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.Media. It's one of those moments of your life that you'll just never forget. Where was I on October 22nd, 2014, when Corporal Nathan Cirillo was shot at the National War Memorial that I'm standing in front of now, when Parliament just off to my right was shot up in a hail of bullets? Well, I'd just gotten back to my office. I'd been out getting coffee. I walked into the old Sun News Ottawa bureau just a couple blocks west of where I'm standing when one of my French colleagues jumped up as I walked through the door and excitedly yelled, "There's been a shooting on the Hill." We didn't have any details, just that there was a gunman on Parliament Hill. I walked down the hall, told the management at Sun News and the Sun media papers, the other reporters there, that something was going on. Then I immediately walked up to the Hill, arriving as police were just showing up, getting out of their cars, their rifles drawn, telling us to get away. I spoke quickly to a civil servant who had escaped the shooting and ran out, telling us he didn't know what was going on, but that bullets were flying. The police shoot us off the Hill. I was walking along Wellington Street in front of Centre Block when all of a sudden armoured type vehicles started pulling up, police in tactical gear with their rifles drawn, getting out and telling us again, get back. They didn't know how many shooters there were. They were worried about people being shot from the towers that surround the Parliament Hill area. It was a long day with a lot of uncertainty. A few moments later, I walked down here to the National War Memorial. I had heard something was happening, saw the yellow tape surrounding the spot where Corporal Nathan Cirillo had been shot. All of this taking place so quickly, shattering the city that I live in, city that I've lived in for a long time. It was only later that I found out Corporal Cirillo was from my hometown of Hamilton, Ontario, a member of the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, a regiment that I'd belonged to many, many years before. But what I worry about and what I wonder about is whether we have learned any lessons from the shooting. It was dignified and good to see Prime Minister-designate Justin Trudeau and Prime Minister Stephen Harper coming together to lay a wreath at the commemoration. It shows an orderly transition of the democracy that we cherish in this country, that we exercised earlier this week, and that Michael Zehaf-Bibeau wanted to ruin. But as we commemorate Corporal Cirillo and Warrant Officer Vincent, who died 2 days earlier, after Roland Ahmed Rouleau ran him down in a parking lot in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, south of Montreal, I wonder if we've learned the lessons. Yes, the government of the day called it terrorism. Yes, Justin Trudeau was able to say that it was terrorism, that he agreed with the RCMP assessment. But too many people dismiss what happened here and in Saint-Jean as well. Just the work of lone wolves, people with mental health issues. That, even as the RCMP say that no, they were terrorist attacks, that Zehaf-Bibeau in his video manifesto appeared lucid, that he had reasons for doing what he did, agree with them or not. And even as we look at the fact that we've had dozens of young men from across Canada, pockets like Calgary, London, Ontario, Toronto, here in Ottawa, in Montreal, head off to join groups like ISIS, like Al-Shabaab, joining the jihadist terrorist cause. There is a problem with terrorism in this country, and we can't turn away from it. Just because we haven't been hit, thanks to the work of police officers like the RCMP or in Ottawa or in Toronto, where they've busted up plots. We saw the Via Rail bombers convicted earlier this year. They would have blown up a train going between Canada and the United States over the Niagara Gorge. Imagine what would have happened there. We do need to realize that terrorism is a threat. We're going to be seeing political changes over the coming year. Bill C-51 will be changed, Bill C-24 will be done away with, and a relaxed attitude may be taken, or maybe not. It depends on the briefings that Justin Trudeau gets. But I hope that what we don't do is get lulled into a false sense of security, that jihadist terrorists are not a threat to this country, that there aren't people that want to do harm to us just because of who we are and what we stand for and believe in. Because that's the lesson of Michael Zehaf-Bibeau. That's the lesson of Martin Ahmed Rouleau. These were two men that grew up with all that Canada has to offer, all the freedoms, all the luxuries, and still they turned on the country because they believed in the jihadist cause. Ideas are hard to fight, but fight we must. We're going to be leaving the fight against ISIS, pulling our bombers away, pulling the special forces back from training the Kurds, but we can't give up on the fight of ideas, the one that says we're right, they're wrong, and that the jihadist mentality cannot take over.